Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In the last video, we have created a chat light using Streamlit and LangChain. So we'll just do a revision of what we have created. We created a Streamlit app, so we can run it using Streamlit chat.py, and in we can also specify the server port, right? The server port in the case of Streamlit is always 8501. So once we enter this detail, we should get a link. So Streamlit. Yeah, we missed out on a Streamlit run. So we will click Streamlit run chat.py, and then we will specify server port, which would be 8501. So once we run it, we should get a link which can help us to get to the browser. So yeah, this is the browser where we have created Chatlight, and in this particular app we can use it to ask any questions to OpenAI. This is sort of a lighter version of ChatGPT, which we have built from the scratch in our last video. So we can ask anything, like for example, write a 5-line poem on AI. So this is a in circuits and codes it takes its forms, and this is a something which we have created from the scratch in our last video. So in today's video, what we are gonna do is we will create a Docker image for this particular app, right? So let's see how. So before that, we'll just check once if we have Docker in our system. So this all detail is mentions. This is all the detail of Docker, which means we have the Docker in the system. If you don't have the Docker, you can just go ahead and install pip install Docker, and also go to the browser of Docker Hub and get the Docker, right? So I will create a detailed video in which we would mention all the details of installing Docker. In today's video, we will go ahead with creating Docker image with the Streamlit file. So we'll start with creating a Docker file, which would be right. So in Docker file, what we do is we specify everything we need uh, from the Docker. So we'll start from getting the image. First, we have to get a base image. So just to give you a brief, like what exactly is the Docker? So Docker helps in managing everything in a container, managing all the aspects of a particular application in a container so that it can be used by anyone on any system. So the issue is like for right now we have created a Streamlit which we can use in our system. So for example, I am using Windows, so I am comfortable using this Streamlit. Now tomorrow, if somebody else wants to run it on their Mac or Linux server, they might face some issue. So to avoid that, we have a container feature. So container is something in which all the applications and interdependencies of applications is managed by a software called Docker. So in Docker, what we do is we start with having a base image. So base image is something where we have the like it's a very standard thing which we have, and we just go ahead with the latest one. So it would be 3.9 slim, right? So this is more kind of a boilerplate uh, image which we always use to create any Docker file, most of the recent Docker file. So once we have the image, we just set the directory. So we just set the working directory in the container. In the So how do we do that? We just It's a very simple code where we specify work directory, and that directory should be under the name of app, right? So app would be a folder which will be created inside the container. Now, in the third step, we will copy the current directory contents which we have in our VS Code, through which we ran the Streamlit app into the container. So in container, we already have the folder called app. So what we'll do is we'll just copy this, and we will use dot to specify the current folder, and then a space, and then we will use app. So this step will, what it will do is it will copy everything from the current folder where Docker file is, so all these three, and paste it in the app. Right now, once we have the app, we have to install all the required dependency, right? So we, for that we will just run. So the same command which we run in our terminal, pip install -r requirements dot txt. So once we completed, the last step would be we should be specify the command to run, command to this will be command to run the applications. So for that we'll just specify everything under CMD. So whatever is executable. So the same code which we use here, it will be Streamlit first, and then we use run. So every word which we use will be under a separate quoted bracket, right? So our name of our app is chat.py, right? So we will just keep it chat.py. Then we have to define the server port, which would be 8501, and finally we have to also specify server address. So for server port, this 8501 is exclusively for Streamlit. Had we been using Flask, it will be 5000. For Fast API, the same number would be 8000. So we can just remember these things. And once we specify, yeah, for server address, it will be 192. So these number we can check it from here when we first ran the app. I think I deleted it. Okay, yeah. So number I remember it is 192.168.1.5. Yeah. So this is our Docker file. So once we have the Docker file, we can go ahead with building our Docker image. So that would be Docker build. We can call it Streamlit Docker. Yeah, I think we have one thing. After Docker, we have to use a dot mark. So now it is okay. So I think here it should be app.py. Since the name of the folder which we have created is app.py, let's try with app.py. So there is an issue here. Yeah, I think it's app. chat.py was fine. We have to close this quotation, right? And then, yeah, and let's use a space for a better reading. Yeah, so once we save it, we can run it again just to see if it can work. Yeah, I think a space should have been there. So yeah, this image is being created now. So there are a couple of issues for there. We have to be mindful of the space after CMD, and at the same time we have to close all the quotation mark. Otherwise, it will show you the error, right? So once we rectified all the error, I think we are fine to go, and we should be able to create images. Yeah, so it's created now. We can also check in Docker images. So yeah, it is extremely Docker. It's now created just 13 seconds ago. So yeah, this is how we create a Docker image for any application. In the next video, we will be pushing this Docker image on Docker Hub, and we'll explore it further. Thanks. Thanks for watching the video.